Hello everybody, welcome back to Simple Gaming Review. I'm going to be talking about the game console that apparently has no games, and apparently there's people out there who say there's no games for it, it sucks, it's terrible, whatever the case may be. We all know who those people are on YouTube. They're the people who are so-called Nintendo fans, even though they bash everything that is Nintendo related. But the Switch 2 has been an amazing experience. I want to make this video today talking about why the Nintendo Switch 2 has become the best value in gaming, other than, obviously, the Xbox Series S console. But if you want the latest and greatest modern-day device, the Switch 2 is cheaper than the Xbox Series X, it's cheaper than the PlayStation 5, and we just got news about the Steam Machine, which is $1,000. The Steam Machine is like $1,500. So, with the recent news with the Steam Machine, and with the, obviously the price increases, the Switch 2 is only going to be $500. Sure, it still is a pretty pricey system, but this is the cheapest modern-day device on the market. And unlike Xbox and PlayStation that uses the best of the best when it comes to hardware, and the same thing goes with the Steam Machine, the Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't really use as much things technology-wise compared to the other companies. That's why the Switch 2 can sit comfortably in a $500 position. There might be some increases in the future, possibly, but the Switch 2 is a fantastic deal, and people should definitely pick one up right now, because you're never going to be able to get a Steam Machine. It's $1,000, ridiculous. PS5 Pro is $1,000. The normal PS5 base version is $600, and then you have the Xbox Series X, which is also a $600 gaming console. The Switch 2 has become the best value in gaming. And while people like to bitch and complain and say that Nintendo has changed so much drastically, and that they have no games, Donkey Kong Bonanza, you got Mario Tennis Fever, you got Mario Kart World, which is a fantastic game. I don't understand the hate for this game. People keep on bringing up DLC. It took Mario Kart 8 years to get DLC. Not to mention that Mario Kart 8 is technically two different games. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had the most content out of any other Mario Kart game because it was supposed to be the deluxe version. Nintendo had a lot more time with that game, and many, many years with that game. This is 1 year old. Give me a break. We're going to be getting DLC for Mario Kart World. You privileged, impatient fucks. Okay? I am so sick of all the bitching people do when it comes to Mario Kart World. They just added Bomb Bomb Blast. Nintendo still cares about the game, and most likely we're going to be getting new tracks, new battle modes, and obviously more DLC for Mario Kart World. Oh my goodness, the bitching people do. Does anybody have patience nowadays? It's 1 year old, right? The Switch 2 is not going to launch with 1,000 games. So everybody should just be fucking patient. Imagine that. But the Switch 2 has been a fantastic value in gaming. You get everything in the box. The Steam Deck, you have to actually buy the dock separately. Not to mention, even the Steam Deck is $1,000 now. So the Steam Deck, Steam Machine are way overpriced. Not to mention weaker hardware. Then you got Xbox and PlayStation that have made the best systems, obviously, the most expensive. So Switch 2 has drastically become one of the best deals in gaming. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, Mario Kart World might be a little pricey, same as Donkey Kong Bonanza. But Nintendo knows what they're doing, and because they stick with not necessarily outdated hardware, but since Nintendo decided to use a hybrid system and decided to focus on, lesser hardware, the Switch 2 has been able to at least be at a cheaper cost, cheaper price, compared to the other systems in the market. Not to mention the Switch 2 can play all your Switch 1 games Not to mention the Switch 2 has some fantastic Switch 2 games. The Switch 2 has become one of the best values in gaming, obviously other than the Xbox Series S, but if you want more of a modern day experience, with fantastic graphics, fantastic gameplay, and enjoyable games and enjoyable experiences, the Switch 2 has become a very good system to buy. You should buy one right now, because things are not going to get any cheaper, and thanks to the Steam machine being out, the Switch 2 just looked a lot better when compared to the Steam machine, because yes, the Steam machine is like 10 times more expensive than the Switch 2. So instead of buying yourself a fucking Steam Deck, or buying yourself a Steam machine, where you're most likely going to play Call of Duty and Fortnite anyway, or play some other stupid bullshit that people play over and over again on PC, you might as well just buy a Switch 2, have those fantastic third-party experiences, not to mention, it's a pretty good console graphically, that can actually keep up with the Xbox and PlayStation 5, not to mention, it has those big Nintendo exclusives, and yeah, it's a pretty fantastic system, and it comes with the dock. It comes with everything you need. Technically, it comes with 2 controllers for, two people to play right out of the box. The Switch 2 is a fantastic system, and it has multiple ways to play. On TV mode, obviously, you got portability mode, and you got, obviously, tabletop mode. And the Switch 2 could be taken with you everywhere. So instead of buying a Steam machine or buying a Steam Deck, you have to actually buy the dock separately for the Steam Deck. You might as well just buy a Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 is a better deal than a Steam machine or Steam Deck, and I think most people would rather have a Switch 2 because, yeah, for the price, for the power, for what it's capable of, it's a fantastic deal, honestly. Compared to the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 and the Steam Machine and Steam Deck, Switch 2 is one of the best deals in gaming. Not to mention, one more addition of the Switch 2 is you technically are getting 2 mouses for the Nintendo Switch 2. That's right. Many Switch 2 games have been able to use mouse controls. You might be asking yourselves, how is that exactly possible? Well, the Switch 2 has built-in mouse controls on the Joy-Cons. So if you want to play Metroid Prime, or if you want to play one of the other games that has mouse controls like Cyberpunk, you can play the Switch 2 with mouse controls built into the system. Not only do you get 2 controllers for 2-player support, but you also get 2 mouse controls. The Switch 2 is a fantastic deal when it comes to gaming. For the technology that's in it, for the mouse controls, for the Joy-Cons, for the much bigger, better experience with the bigger screen than the Steam Deck has, with the brand new kickstand, everything else, and the multiple ways to play, the Switch 2 is right now a fantastic deal. You're getting so many options, so many ways to play. So people, if you want a fantastic experience that comes with multiple ways to play, not to mention mouse controls for certain games, and 2 controllers basically in the box, does Xbox or PS5 come with 2 controllers? Does the Steam machine come with 2 controllers? Oh wait, they don't. On the Steam Deck, can you actually remove your controllers? Nope, but you can do it with the Switch 2. With the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, you can change them out. You don't even have to have them on the system to play with them. Switch 2 is a fantastic deal. Nintendo is winning when it comes to gaming. They're winning when it comes to modern gaming. And Nintendo knows exactly what they're doing. And that is why Nintendo is winning. And that's why the Switch 2 is a great deal when it comes to modern day devices. It is one of the best systems on the market to get right now. And it offers so much capabilities with it. So many ways to play. And if you're somebody who wants a brand new experience, Switch 2 is fantastic. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like. Let me know down below what you think about Nintendo Switch 2. But the Switch 2 is a better deal than the Steam Deck and Steam Machine. It's definitely a better deal than the PS5 Pro, definitely. And the Xbox Series X. And the Switch 2 definitely is a fully capable console that could actually keep up with the other companies on the market. And because it's a hybrid system, it will always remain a cheaper console compared to PlayStation, Xbox, and of course, Steam. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video though. Hope you all have a lovely day or night, and the Switch 2 might just be, or is in fact, the best system on the market currently to get yourself right now. Fantastic deal, fantastic games, backwards compatibility, physical games, no DRM. Not to mention, you have a lot of ways to play with your Nintendo Switch 2 system. Anyway, peace out. Oh yeah, Nintendo Switch 2. Oh yeah.